the 600 players in the NBA were the best in the world, not just in America. And Bronny James is not one of the 600 best players.
Is he wrong? What is up, world? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast, and we are here to react to Bill Maher and Stephen A. Smith talking about Bronny James and whether he deserves to be in the NBA or not. I have not seen this video, guys, so I would love to react with you. Make sure you guys get in here, subscribe to the YouTube channel, thumbs up, let's go.
I guess, and this is, because I live in LA and I see this sort of world of nepo babies and trust fund kids when you're out. It started here in a conversation with Bob Costas, and Bronny James is the one who did up. Because the point of it, for people who didn't see it, is that sports, the last place where you can have trust that it's not nepo babies.
So what he's saying, guys, is sports are the last place that you would want to have a nepotism type of reputation. I mean, we get it. There are brothers in sports, NFL, NBA. You got the Eli, Peyton Mannings, the JJ, TJ Watt. The list goes on, right? Steph Curry, Dale Curry. I forget the other Curry. What's the other Curry name? It's right here. No disrespect, but that Curry, right? Like, you got all that going on, all right? But it's more so earned. Like, you don't see people forcing. Like, you didn't see Archie Manning, right, going to the NFL, like, take my son or I'm leaving. Obviously, the NFL does not roll like that. They have a commissioner with a pair of balls. So that would not happen. Do I think that this would happen on David Stern's watch? No. I do blame not only LeBron James for this weak, faulty-ass league. I blame Adam Silver. I sure do. I blame Adam Silver for a lot. And what I agree with Bill Maher here is that you don't want that in sports. It just waters it down. The ratings are in a tank, all because of one man. And I get it. A lot of people aren't going to blame LeBron James, but here's why I blame LeBron James, because the league takes on the identity of the face of the league. And LeBron James, passive aggressive, wants to be buddy. I've never seen this much freaking jersey swapping a day in my life. But let's keep going.
Everything else, even modeling now, nepo babies. But certainly politics always was. Show business is rife with them. Everything is nepo babies except sports. You could always count on the fact that the 600 players in the NBA were the best in the world, not just in America. And Bronny James is not one of the 600 best players.
Is he wrong? You heard Stephen A. Smith says that he agrees. Now, why people like myself are constantly under attack because we just call it like we see it will forever trip me out. I mean, Bronny James, good video gamer, but not a real gamer, not a real basketball gamer. Everything that Bronny James has been given has been because of his dad. The crazy part about it is I actually think Bryce James, man, that dude got a little, you know what I'm saying? He got a little, He seems like he got a little more toughness to him than Bronny James. That's all I'm saying. I mean, the swagger, the aura. He's kind of like the black sheep, flies under the radar, never discussed. That creates a certain type of hunger, especially when you see your older brother getting all this attention. Then you see how the media platforms like, YouTube are discussing your brother. It's going to put fuel in you to make sure that you at least make that right. That's what I'm going to give Bryce James. Bronny James, I mean, it is what it is. Your daddy forced you here. You're stuck here for at least for another 3.5 years or however much more you got left on the contract. And he's just not that type of player. And you heard what Bill Maher says. He stays in LA. So if he stays in LA, he has a huge platform. There are so many people in LA thinking the same thing. So many successful athletes, celebrities thinking the same thing. And LeBron James knows this. He hangs with these people. His circle is just as popular as a guy like Bill Maher, Stephen A. Smith. These guys are connected and they talk. So LeBron James cannot help but go ghost on social media, go zero dark, whatever they call it, because he knows that every time he picks up his phone, something's going to be trending about him and his son. But out of 600 players, for this man to be saying that Bronny James isn't even one. I mean, he's not even 599 in a lot of people's books. But that's what LeBron James said. LeBron James said that his son was way better than a lot of the cats on League Pass. That's what LeBron James said. And now you're not getting any respect of even being like, you're not even the worst player in the NBA. Because the worst player in the NBA can still play basketball. He's just not as talented as, you know, the other 599 people ahead of him. There are going to be a lot of people out there who keeps fighting against the truth. They're going to keep believing that he's good. They're going to keep saying, give him time. When all we know is time has passed. I mean, you barely played after the heart situation. In the NBA, you're not playing long enough to put up points. And neither are you playing long enough in the G League to make a name for yourself. So, I mean, we just got to ask ourselves, like, how good is this kid? And how much longer are we going to keep giving him these excuses when we don't do that for anyone else?
Let me explain where they messed up about Bronny. LeBron James has done so much for this league. Him wanting the moment of being in an NBA game with his son is not the crime. Here's what the crime was, Bill. You have that moment on opening night. At that moment, Bronny James, you know you belong in the G League. Go to the G League.
Right.
I mean, damn, Stephen A. Smith did not mince words there, for sure. But I do think that Bronny James probably doesn't still to this day think that he's a G League player. I mean, your whole life living with a billionaire, I mean, your lifestyle, you're barely told no. I mean, the things you have, the last thing you're going to accept is that you are a G League player. I truthfully think that if LeBron would have let Bronny James be drafted by another team, they happen to meet on the court, cameras are out, they shaking hands, like that to me would have been more authentic than what we see now. You don't want him traveling with the away team, the South Bay Lakers. Now we know that you really did all this for some type of photo session, right? It's all LeBron James cared about. Kenny Griffin Sr. and Kenny Griffin Jr. coming out, taking the pictures, you know, taking the pictures of them, taking off the warm-ups. They're sitting down, doing their handshake, all of that, right? I mean, yeah, it looks good, but I don't know if this is going to age well, especially if Bronny James can't put together like any type of highlight reel. This kid has no highlight reels, none whatsoever. Every time ESPN shows this kid, he's running up and down the court. They barely show Dalton Connect, and this guy's a stud. And he went in the first round. How is Bronny James getting more love and privilege than this? Then on top of that, you got the Quincy Olivari kid who was snubbed, who's literally averaging 30 points in the G League, making a great name for himself, and he can't get no roster spot. You got all of these old ass players in and out of lineups, in and out of depth. Come on, man. I don't think that moment should have been there because it wasn't organic. I get it. Like, y'all gonna keep saying, oh my gosh, let the black man be with his son. We don't ever have anything. Okay. But let's just be honest. There are a lot of people, not just black people, but if we want to talk specifics, there are a lot of black men who have been deprived of opportunity that are sitting right there in the G League. Literally, I just named one, Quincy Olivari. Talk about him in most of my videos. My favorite Laker. Kid is special. Sitting right there in the G League. But we want to uplift this black man and not this black man. I just don't get it. Why can't we just see it across the board? Why can't we call a spade a spade? Why can't we? I'll tell you why. Because it's more popular to go against the underdog than it is to go with the guy that's already tailor-made. The guy who has no blemishes on his resume. The guy who is this outstanding Samaritan in LeBron James. That's what you guys going to do every time. Because y'all don't got the heart to come out here and call it like y'all see it. Y'all rather be accepted with the crowd than stand out from the crowd. That's what's wrong with a lot of us today, though, actually. But I don't want to get into that. Let's keep going.
Ladies and gentlemen, now that I got this moment, it's time for me to go and earn my stripes. I didn't earn it at USC because I wasn't there long enough.
Exactly.
Right? I'm a high school All-American averaging 14 points a game, all right? Which is better than most of us, by the way. But still, high school All-Americans usually are doing more than that. All Bronny James had to do, and I understand that that's a lot to put on a kid that's 19 years old or so, but all Bronny James had to do was say, now it's time for me to go to the G League, y'all. Yeah. I got to earn my shit.
Now, do we really think that Bronny James would do that with an egomaniac ass father? Bro, Stephen A. Smith. LeBron James does not want G League next to his son's name. If I remember correctly, he wasn't even on the roster when they came out with the official roster. LeBron James wants nothing to do with that. He's too ego-driven. He's royalty. And he'll be damned if his son is playing basketball with some low-life peasants who can't even make it to the league, not knowing that his son is way worse than them. He's in denial.
But because he was soaking it all in, right? And one game after another, you're traveling with the team, you're in uniform, and you're taking up one of those roster spots. Now it brings into question the meritocracy and what was religiously associated with the NBA, which is why your point was not only on point because factually you were correct, but your timing was impeccable. See, you didn't wait. You know, it wasn't like 6 months later or anything. No, you were right there, week 1. Like, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute now. Let's
I did that
right.
2 years.
Listen, man, Bill, right? I know that you're known as a guy that can shoot it straight. You said nothing wrong, man. And a lot of people gonna come out and attack this man, just like a lot of people come out and attack Stephen A. Smith or anybody else that don't agree with LeBron James, especially with Clutch Sports controlling everything in that field. It's inevitable. Trust me, man. LeBron James wants perfection, and I get it. I mean, you have to be some type of selfish when you're at the top for so long. And for me, LeBron James does not come before MJ or Kobe. Not in my book. And I understand that LeBron James is a perfectionist. He wants his son to be a replica of him. But the truth of the matter is, Bronny James is not an NBA player. He's not a G League player. I don't think that he's a true All-American. Let's be honest. It's all because of name and reputation. I think that Bronny James, man, I think that unless he comes back and he's out of this world improved, may need to think about something else to do in life, man. You know, and I'm not doubting the kid. I'm not doubting that he can't do it. I'm doubting if his heart is really in it. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, you can have the talent. You could be, God can give you the height, the muscles, whatever. God can give you everything. But if your heart is not in it, man, like, what purpose are you serving?
Everybody wants to see Bronny James in the league with his father, but he won't make it unless he's good enough, and then they fuck that up. And I even mentioned Doc Rivers' kid plays, but not because he's Doc Rivers' kid,
But Austin Rivers,
because he's good enough to
he's
play
good enough
in
to
the
be on an NBA.
league.
Austin Rivers was legit. I mean, I got to give it to him. Dude was just a guy, but he was slightly above pedestrian. Now, I think that's fair to say. So what Stephen A. Smith and Bill are getting at is no handouts were giving to him. No handouts were like, this my son, get him in the league right now or you lose me. See, that alone is what separates from LeBron James from all of these other players who have brothers or other siblings who have come and go in this league. It's the fact that he has been great for so long and he demanded in front of the world that nobody touch his son or else, which disrespects the integrity of the game. Because in my opinion, I would have loved for another team to snag Bronny James just to get a better performance out of LeBron James, get more motivation out of him, more serious play. Because at this point, doing something this long, it kind of gets vanilla, you know? So I do think that did tug at the integrity of the game. And I honestly feel a lot like a lot of people where, you know, this whole thing is just a sham. It's just a joke. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I know this is y'all boy, probably a huge Bronny James fan, but the truth of the matter is, man, he's just not there right now. Okay. I'm not going to say he'll never be there like most people believe. He's just not there right now. So those are my thoughts on this reaction. You guys let me know what y'all think about everything Bill and Stephen A. Smith just had to say about Bronny. Let me know in the comment section, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Yeah.